So one question I'm consistently asked as I do coaching skill building workshops, as a matter of fact, I got it this weekend twice in two different forms, is how do I coach up? So when I hear that question, the way I interpret it is, how do I coach my boss? How do I coach my parents? And even how do I coach my spouse? And you'll see why I consider my wife my boss, or think of them the same way in just a minute. It's because what they're looking at is coaching as an exercise of experience or power. They view themselves, if I'm the coach, then I'm kind of like this pitcher filled with water. And the performer is this empty cup. And when I coach, what I'm doing is I'm pouring my expertise or power into that performer's cup. Now, the problem with viewing coaching as an exercise in experience or power is that oftentimes our boss, our parents, or our spouse, their cup may be bigger than the pitcher that I carry. Whether that pitcher is experience or power or position, whatever it is, this creates a problem in coaching up. It's a difficulty. As a matter of fact, even when coaching your peers, the pitcher and cup analogy becomes a problem because they may view an exercise of experience and power as a threat or a contest. And whether you're coaching your boss, your spouse, your peers, whoever it is, as soon as coaching becomes a contest or an exercise of power and experience, it loses its effectiveness. So I don't view coaching as coming from a position of power, experience, or position. I view coaching as a thought partnership. Now, there are times as a leader or as a friend or as a coach or as a spouse where I'm going to have to use an exercise position and power. And at its best, that's training, and that's consulting, and that's directing. At its worst, that's manipulation and abuse. I don't view coaching as power. I don't view coaching as expertise. It's a thought partnership. And when coaching is a thought partnership, it really doesn't matter how much experience you have. It doesn't matter if you have all that expertise. What matters is that you're present with that person, seeking to help them grow. So coaching is a conversation. It's a thought partnership between two people seeking to build competency. Now, the difference between the coach and the performer is who it's focused on. And guess what, coach? It's not focused on you. At its best, when we're coaching, we are present with the person, and it's a partnership focused on building competency and capacity to do more in any circumstance. The problem becomes when your boss doesn't share that perspective on coaching. If you're coming at this from a partnership and they still see this coaching conversation as an exercise of expertise, it's not going to work. When we are using the same words but speaking a different language, miscommunication is by definition going to happen. We're going to just miss the point, and we're going to have different meanings and different experiences around it. So let me share 3 things that you can do to help you as you try and coach up. The first one, find a common language. You need to share a definition of what this conversation is going to be about. And it doesn't mean that you have to change their meaning of coaching. Now, my preference is if we all viewed coaching as a thought partnership, oh, what a great place this would be. But the reality is you may not be able to change your boss's mind about how they view coaching. Well, you don't have to call it coaching. You can use the term thought partner. You can even say, hey, do you need somebody to bounce ideas off of so that we can find a solution for this? But make sure that you agree on what this conversation is going to be about. And that you reassure them that you're not there trying to show your expertise or exercise any form of power. It's really, I want to partner with you to find a way forward. So first is find a common language. The next one is set your agenda aside. Now, we all have opinions and perspectives and ideas that we think will get the right answer. But when we choose this type of coaching, we need to set that aside and listen carefully as your boss defines what the issue is based on their perspective. And honestly, they probably have more perspective than you do just based on their position. But you let them define the issue, and also they get to decide what success looks like. So as you come in to coach up, you need to take a deep breath and set your stuff aside so that it becomes about listening and allowing the coach to define, or the performer, the boss, to define what's going on. And lastly, you need to practice coaching. This type of coaching is a skill set, and it doesn't necessarily come naturally to us. We don't naturally go towards a conversation. We go towards an urgency to fix. And when we bring this urgency to fix into this type of coaching conversation, we immediately create barriers because we're not listening. We are not a partner anymore. We're coming in as the fighter to put out the fire and solve the problem. And that does not build competency. It doesn't build the capacity to perform at a higher level. As a matter of fact, it'll probably put not only your boss or your spouse off, but it'll put your peers and even your subordinates off if you try to coach in this way. So those three things: find a common language, set your agenda aside, and practice coaching. So you just listened to this episode of Growing People, and I'm very interested in your thoughts and insights and stories about this topic. So please leave a comment, put in there how you've seen this happen, or maybe where I'm wrong. The only way we're going to continue to grow is if we grow from each other's input and insight. So please leave a comment. And if you like what you heard, please share. Post it on Facebook or LinkedIn or your preferred social media, and let other people see this and comment. And let's build this community of people seeking to grow each other.